Good morning, students. Welcome to 12th Business Studies. We are going with our fifth unit that is organizing. In our last video, we have seen what do you mean by organizing, its steps and importance. Today, we are going to see what is organizational structure. When we talk about organizational structure, it denotes the pattern of relationship among the positions and the job within an organization. So it provides us on the basis of like managers and non-managerial employees perform the job which is assigned to them. We can say that organizational structure refers to a framework within which the managerial and operational tasks are to be performed. Okay, we can say that organizational structure also specifies or gives the relationship between people, between work and between the resources. So people should be on a right place, right person should be sitting on a right place, and the work should be divided accordingly. Right job has to be given to a right person, and resources should be used properly, so there will be no wastage. We can say that a good organization, or we can say that it is a good organizational structure when the structure is a dynamic. That means easily we can change as per the change in the world, and easily we can adopt the changes as per the situation or as per the condition in the market. So that is called as a good organizational structure. Even when you refer to NCERT textbook, you will find a definition which is given by Peter Drucker, and he says that organizational structure is an indispensable mean. That means it is necessary, and the wrong structure will seriously impair the business performance and even destroy it. That means if there is no correct organizational structure, so it will be a damage to the organizational structure. So you have to be very careful in organizational structure. Here there is a relationship, as I said, among the persons working on a different positions, and even the framework is decided because it gives a authority and responsibility to a particular person. So that has to be taken care, that organizational structure should be in a very good way. Now the question comes, how this organization structure has been created. The structure of organization is deliberately designed and planned, and it is greatly influenced how it is done by the help of span of management. The span of management, what is span of management? Question comes in board exam for 1 mark. So span of management which helps the organizational structure to create, that is number of subordinates that can be effectively managed by the superior. So number of subordinates which can be managed by the superior are called as span of management. So manager may consider the span of management while creating the organization. So how many number of managers will be there, what will be the number of people working under them, what kind of work we are doing, according to that we have to create the organizational structure. So this is how the organization structure looks of a company. Board of directors are there, which are appointed by the shareholders as a representative. Managing director is there. Then different departments are there. So according to department, there will be a different managers: production manager, purchase manager, finance manager, marketing manager, HR manager, then research and development manager. There are various departments created or generated by a organization. According to their function, they divide the work. So this is how the organizational structure looks. Like production manager has factory manager and store manager under him, and factory manager will have workers under him. So this is how the structure has been generated. So we have to be very careful in the organization while creating organizational structure. Organizational structure are divided into two types. There are two types of organizational structure. The first one is functional structure, and second one is divisional structure. Let us see the first one. The name itself will tell you functional structure means it depends upon the function, it depends upon the job which they are doing. So similar kind of function or similar kind of jobs can be grouped together and made one department. and under the one executive. So care can be taken by a particular executive, and all the similar jobs can be done under one roof, that is one department or one section. So functional structure refers to grouping of the job on the basis of similar job or similar nature. For example, if a manufacturing enterprises, all the jobs related to production are grouped in a production department, and jobs which are related to finance are grouped under a finance department, whereas the jobs under the marketing work or marketing jobs are being grouped under a marketing department. So this is how they are being divided according to their function, and according to the function a particular department has been sanctioned. So this is called as functional structure. So this is how it looks, the functional structure. Managing director, and there are different departments, that is production department, purchase department, finance department, marketing department. There may be a HR department also. It depends upon the type of organization it is. So functional structure, you already know, it refers to grouping of job on a similar nature. Now, in which functional structure is suitable in what cases? Number one, when the size of your organization is large, that means really you have to divide it into a different sections, into a different department. So the best one is functional structure. And the next one, organization has to carry out diversification activities. So if you are producing more than one product, so definitely you have to go for this financial structure. That will help you. And when the task requires a high degree of specialization, why we say high degree of specialization? Because in particular department, when an employee is doing the same job again and again, repeatedly, or again and again he is doing, that person or that employee gets specialized in doing that particular job, because he is doing it again and again, and he knows how to do it in a perfect way. So these are the three situations where functional structure is suitable in your organization. Now, what are the advantages? Suppose you have started an organization and you have gone with a functional structure. What benefit your organization will get? Number one, you will get is functional specialization. Just now I said, when a person who does the work, specific job again and again, similar task he is doing again and again in a particular department, it gets a specialization. Plus he slowly he starts increasing day by day. He gets promoted, we can say, or we can say he takes one step ahead in his particular task, because he do some create some ideas in his mind. He gets some new ideas, so innovation may be there, creativity may be there, and this improves his performance, and this will improve his efficiency in the job, and that will lead to the specialization. So the employees who are working in the organization will be specialized employees in their particular task. The next advantage you will get, that is effective control and coordination. Now, due to you have divided the work into different departments, it will be very easy to control the departments, to control the work, to control the wastage of the resources, and also it is very easy to coordinate among the departments, within the departments also, or among the department and within the department also. Due to the similarity of task performance, it's very easy for them to communicate and to coordinate and to cooperate among themselves. The next advantage which you will see in your organization will be improves efficiency. So here, due to the experience, officers are specially appointed for each functional department. Like expert and experienced person will be appointed on the position of a manager, and he will increase his managerial efficiency, or we can say he has a good idea of the controlling or getting the work done from his employees. So operational efficiency will also increase, and this will result that your organization will achieve profit, because it will improve the efficiency due to experience and expert persons. Next you will see the advantage in your organization is easy in training. So suppose if you want to train only the employees who are doing production, who are into a production section, so it is very easy that particular department will be going under a training. And if you want to provide a training to accounts department, that means finance department will be undergoing into a training, so that will not disturb the other department. So it is very easy to train the person, to train the employees in a particular department. It also avoids the duplication. Now when work is very clear, everyone knows what tasks they have to do, there is clarity in the job which is assigned to them, so there will be no duplication of the work done. So duplication of effort, or we can say there will be reduction in the cost of production, no wastage will be there of time, of the resources or energy. So this will help your organization to go ahead, and then you can focus on a range, or even on the skills, even on the variety of the production. Next comes proper attention. Functional structure will definitely help you to give an attention on the particular task, attention on the particular department. So there are various advantages which you will get due to functional structure in your organization. But as you know, the coin have both the side. Similarly, there will be a disadvantages of the functional structure. Let us see what disadvantage functional structure can give. Number one is functional empire. Now, when we talk about functional structure, it places less emphasis on overall enterprise objective. Now, your main objective of the organization is to achieve the profit, but here each and every manager will first focus on his own department, that my department, my production department should achieve their target. Finance will think my department should achieve their target. Production will think that, finance will think that, even the marketing, sales department will think about their own target. But they will not have us in mind, that is, they will not focus on the whole objective of the organization. But you know that if they focus on that particular department, definitely you will achieve the organizations department. But they will have first their departmental target. The second comes difficulty in coordination. Now it may cause, it's not necessary, it may cause problem in coordination, as information has to be exchanged across the different departments. So they have to give information to different departments. If it comes from the top management, it will be given to a production manager, it will be given to finance manager. So there are the chances of problem of coordination among themselves. Then difficulty to hold accountable. Accountable means answerable. Now it becomes difficult. Suppose if in any particular thing, so it's written over here, it becomes difficult to hold a particular department accountable if organization goal is not being achieved. If organizational goal is not achieved, suppose if we think that the sales have to be achieved, or sales have to be increased, now it becomes difficult to find out why sales have not been increased. We cannot only say that due to sales department, maybe it is due to a production, the production is not in a proper way, maybe due to raw material is not in a proper way. So whatever the reason is, it's very difficult to find out who is accountable for a particular reason. Next come conflicts of interest. It may lead to conflict between the two or more departments for their interest, as it maybe arises due to responsibility are not clearly separated. So who is responsible for not achieving the organizational goal? In this case, they may have a conflict among themselves. Inflexibility. It may lead to inflexibility, as employees get trained on only one function and only in one particular department. They are not trained for the some other departments. So it may result like they cannot be shifted to other departments, or it cannot be given as promotion in a very faster way, or the employees cannot given another position because they are specialized in that particular job which they are doing. So these are the some disadvantages which you may find in the functional structure. So this is what we have learned today about the functional structure. In next video, we are going to learn about divisional structure. So be tuned with us. Thank you so much.